Are we really having this discussion? I'm like, let's talk about farts again.
This is gonna change your life.
Pull up a chair, the kitchen is open.
Oh, it's so good.
With Clinton Kelly, Carla Hall, and Michael Symon.
You better shut your face.
Let's dig in.
Oh, this is so much fun.
Oh my God, you came back for more. Chewed Up. It's your thrice weekly podcast that you didn't know you needed in your life, but you do. Yeah, here we are. We're in week 4 of this show already.
Oh my God, can you believe it?
No.
We're still here.
Feels like we've been doing this for 2 days.
Your 3 hosts are Michael Symon, Carla Hall, and myself, Clinton Kelly. Every Monday we bring you an appetizer, every Wednesday we bring you a main, and every Friday we bring you a dessert. And sometimes, just sometimes, we bring you an amazing guest, which we'll get to in a little bit. She's here, she's waiting in the wings. We're gonna introduce you to her in just a second. But first, let's talk about what we're making today, Michael Symon.
I don't know, I'm just so excited about the guest.
You're over there like vibrating.
Snap out of it, Michael.
So as you guys know, I am of, Greek descent. Like Greek and Sicilian, but like growing up as a Greek kid, we ate a lot of meze, which meze is like a starter, like a shared plate, starter, tapas, like they're called a million different things in a million different places, but often they became a part of our main dinner. Like my mom would just make a bunch of meze that then would be dinner. So we are gonna give you a sample of one today. I'm gonna make a little riff on my mom's beef keftede. She used to make them with beef and lamb, but we don't have a lamb sponsor yet, so we're doing straight beef. And they're just really delicious. They're very simple. They're what people think of first when they think of keftede is the meat version. Keftede means fritter in Greek, so there's zucchini keftedes, tomato keftedes, meat keftedes, but we're gonna do they're tiny meatballs, and they're delightful.
Well, when I think of meze, you know who I think of? I think of our guest, quite frankly, because she's one of the most exciting chefs currently working in New York City, if you ask my opinion. Let's bring her in. Ayesha Nurdjaja.
I love you so much.
I always show up when there's bowls around.
You came to the right show. Already dirty talk. Love it.
You're gonna fit in just right.
Yes.
So I'm gonna do the keftede, and you're going to make
Whipped feta.
which your whipped feta is.
Okay. Your whipped feta and your tome.
Oh, the tomb.
Tomb,
Yeah,
sorry.
no, it's all right. It's okay.
Yeah. Tomb.
Your
the
tone
whipped
is nice
garlic?
too, though. Your accent, your tone, I like.
I just got my tomes done.
If you haven't been to Shukette or Shuka in New York City, you've got to get yourself a reservation. It is really a special, special experience. So that's how I think that's how I fell in love with you.
Yeah, that's how I fell in love with you.
But I
And
think-
the operative word was reservation, because they'll try to walk in.
You're gonna be waiting until about 11:30 to get a
People
table.
think we do it on purpose, but it's a really small restaurant. It just
is.
cranks.
It cranks. It's so busy. It's so for people at home to get a chance to go there. It's how we initially met. We knew who each other were, but we hadn't met. And I sat at that bar in front of you, and you just fed me. And it was so magic. And as you know, and I mean, I say this in the gushing way, I've been singing your praises ever since. I love your food. I love what you do. I love you as a person. And I am so happy to watch you just blow up right now.
Thank you.
The newest Titan on Food Network.
Yes, so exciting.
And I mean, you're crushing it. You're just absolutely crushing it.
I don't know if you guys know, but Michael's like the little godfather that sits on the shoulder. Like whenever I have a question, I'm like, boop, 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 boop.
Oh, yeah, he's
and
good
he's
like
like,
that.
let me think about that. And then he'll take it back, no. Or I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna do it. And he's like, I think you're gonna. So, yeah, everybody needs a Michael in their life.
No, but we've all had, I think though, it's funny that you're doing the show with Bobby now. When I was just breaking into the TV part of being a chef, Bobby was a huge, he was a couple years in front of me, so I'm like, yeah, what the, and he would help me through it. And it, when you're going into new worlds, it helps to have someone that you're a friend with and you trust, and it just helps.
But you tuck you right under their little wing.
No, it's true. Everybody thinks that food is so linear, but it's so different, right?
It's so
and you know
different.
of your career, chef, then you win the TV, the Top Chef thing, Top Chef and running a restaurant are two separate things.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
I mean, hosting even a food show is very different. But I was introduced to you being a Titan on what? Family Feud!
It was so funny because we were both looking at each other, obviously with our respective teams, and I was like, And she was like, every movie on
It was so much fun, you guys. That actually aired September 27th. So if you can see a rerun of that, we're not even going to tell you here, but some of you may know, some of you may
Well,
not.
I'm going
so
to watch
it.
for sure.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I
Super
haven't
fun.
seen it yet. I'm going to dig in.
Yeah, Ayesha, I love your story. First of all, I love your accent.
Thank
it's
you.
full on. It's like deep Brooklyn accent.
I don't even know how, like, I couldn't fake it.
You couldn't fake it, yeah.
Like, if I read a children's book, like, I couldn't even say, like, how do you say dog?
Dog. How do you
It
say
doesn't even
dog?
come out. My jaw gets, like, unhinged. It's like dog.
It's dog, of course.
dog.
D-A-W-G is dog.
Exactly.
Yeah. Your story is
Yourself.
interesting. You're born and raised in Brooklyn, still live there.
Still live there.
Now, let's tell us a little bit about your background, because it's your Indonesian dad and a Brooklyn mom.
Yeah, Italian mother, Indonesian dad. They actually met in a restaurant, which is very funny.
Oh, cute.
My mom was playing tennis, and her partner was Indonesian, and he was like, I wanted you to introduce my friend. My dad was a chef in the restaurant, and that's how they met.
Oh, like easy peasy.
Well, yeah, it was easy peasy then. Now,
I'm
you know what I
sure.
mean? We met in a restaurant, but I need to meet somebody in my own restaurant or another one.
Look, if you're not coming to my restaurant, if you don't work with me, I will not be meeting you.
But wait, I like, and I was telling them the story. I may have messed it up a bit, but like how you got into like working in restaurants.
Yes.
I
At Lidia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you just tell that story real quick? 'Cause it's the best.
I'll try to make it short, but I don't even know if any of my stories are short. I went to culinary school, and in the third mod, you have to go and stage somewhere. But a little bit before that, when I moved out when I was 19, I came from a house where we would eat like 3-course dinners every night. My mother is the best cook that I know. When Bobby approached me about being in Titan, I said, I think you should call my mom. Because you give her any 2 ingredients, and she's
Yeah.
going to crush it.
I love your mom on your Instagram, by the
Oh,
way.
thank
She's
you.
adorable. The two of you
She's-
together,
she's a star,
is
for
a show
sure.
right there. Yeah.
And I moved out, and I realized that I didn't know how to cook. And it was it was revelatory, because here I was eating for
Yeah.
19 years and
Right,
never
right.
had to think about it.
Yeah.
So I was home, and I was like, what do I do? And I put the TV on, and Lidia was on television, and she made risotto stuffed tomatoes. So I taped it,
Yeah.
VHS, going back a little
come
bit.
on, what?
Going back a little bit. And that was the first dish I made. I had Michael Bublé in the background, a glass of red wine, Chianti Rufino, because that was fancy then.
Yeah.
And she inspired me.
Just you kept your
Yeah,
stirring away.
That was it. So I went to school. I worked in a law firm from 9 to 5, went to culinary school at night.
Okay.
And then I went and wanted to stage at Lidia. So the stage, they let me in. And I remember like being stuck between the dish pit and the pasta station. And I was just watching this symphony. And I was so dialed in. Like it was speaking to my soul, probably the way that somebody loves opera or like the ballet.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to do this. Like, this is it.
Yeah.
So after school was over, you had to do 210 hours of non-paid labor then. And I went in and talked to the sous chef, and I said, hi, I don't know if you remember me, but I would love to work here. And he was like, oh, we don't take externs. So I took the train from 57th and Lex all the way to Gravesend, which is like a 2-hour trip.
Yeah.
And I was like upset at myself, because I was like, maybe you didn't explain it right. Like all these other kids in my school were getting into the restaurants respectively they wanted. So I went back the next day. So I tried to explain myself, and he was like, yeah, I don't really think so. So I said, well, can I speak to the chef? He comes out, gorgeous as could be. I was getting super nervous. At the time, I spoke fluent Italian in a Brooklynese accent. And I explained to him, and he was like, I love your story, but there's no girls in the kitchen. Women only work in pastry. Isn't that funny? For a restaurant that was named for Lidia, right, from a female chef.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, and I left. But that really, really upset me, because,
should.
again, I felt like I wasn't heard. So I went back the third day. The hatch was open in the ground, and I went in, I changed, and I picked up a broom. I just started sweeping. And the sous chef came down, and he was like, what are you doing here? Like, you know, like, look, this kid doesn't take no for an answer.
You're trespassing.
Right, and I'm saying kid, I was like in my 20s, exactly. He should have called 911. And I said, listen, I spoke to the chef. He said I can work here on the weekends. I'm gonna sweep, I'm gonna mop, I'm gonna do whatever.
Love it.
So he was like, well, he didn't tell me that. And I was like, oh, well, I don't know what to tell you. And I just like kept it moving, you know? So a week went by, and the chef comes flying down the stairs, and he cursed me in like dirty Sicilian, like he went all in. And I was like,
You
yes,
said your
chef.
Italian's really great.
I was like, yes, chef. Yes, chef. Yes, chef. But one thing, I said, ask everybody here, have I not been helping? I have my mouth shut, I'm learning, I'm helping people, I'm peeling calamari, and like whatever it was. And I was so happy to be there.
Yeah.
And he like put his arms in the air, and I went from dishwasher to sous chef in 4 years in that restaurant.
Oh, yes, girl.
That was it.
Bravo,
That's the story. That's the story.
Amazing.
Good.
Chewed up.
Before we dive back in, today's episode's flavor boost comes from Blues Hog.
They're one of the top names in barbecue nationwide, renowned for award-winning rubs, marinades, and sauces.
They've even won Best Sauce on the Planet at the American Royal 8 times.
Blues Hog, thanks for bringing the flavor to our kitchen. Stay saucy. Go to blueshog.com for more.
Marble Ridge Farms is a 4th-generation family-owned farm in Missouri, raising cattle in a low-stress, happy environment.
And you know where that tradition shows up the most? In the flavor. Thank you for being part of the Chewed Up Kitchen. For more information, you can go to marbleridgefarms.com.
If you're wondering where all these groceries came from today, it's Trader Joe's.
They always keep it fun. Unique ingredients, seasonal finds, and staples we all love.
It's affordable, it's adventurous, and really half the fun is just wandering the aisles.
Big thanks to Trader Joe's for stocking our kitchen for today's episode.
To find out more, go to traderjoes.com.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you have spices
Well,
going
yeah,
on
I want to
there,
talk
they
about it. I
smells
just thought
great.
I wanted to hear
Oh
the
my
story.
God,
I've heard it before.
amazing.
So in the pan, as we were chatting,
Smells
this is
delicious.
a mom trick.
Okay.
She never dices the onion. She would always grate them. Yeah. So box grated onion, 1 clove of garlic minced, and then I put the spices in with it. I put a teaspoon of coriander, a teaspoon of cumin, a half teaspoon of cinnamon, and then a little bit of nutmeg. So those spices bloom right in, and we're just sweating all these in extra virgin olive oil, and let all the flavors open up. And that's like step number 1. Then we let these cool a bit. You know, in a perfect world, if we weren't doing this here, we would let them cool completely, but I'm gonna work with them fast, so it's gonna be okay. And we're gonna move, I have a pan back here with oil in it. Don't try this at home.
And what's the oil that's in it? Because that's the most important part. Well, one of the most important parts, right?
Look, there's a lot of people that have different opinions. And my opinion is exactly the same in this. I fry in olive oil. I do kind of everything in it. I love the flavor that it adds, and that's that.
Well, I got a question. Why don't more people fry in olive oil?
It's expensive.
It's expensive.
So the price. Okay.
Yeah, like I
also
think,
a smoke point issue, right?
Yeah, but I think it's a myth, right? It's like
Right.
people always have this thing in their head that olive oil burns quick and everything, but
Yeah.
you don't realize what flavor that it brings. I mean, it's
Yeah.
an essential part of definitely Michael's and my cuisine.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, and it's not like we're filling up a fryer
That's
with
right.
olive oil.
Right.
We're
And it's
cooking
not like
in
you're
it.
not cooking it that high temp either.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be at 350 or so, but
Yeah.
it's not, Carla, for this, it's not going to break down to the point where it's doing any damage. It's still going to have full flavor and add flavor to the dish.
Okay.
Again, just my opinion, but it is a more expensive way to cook, obviously. But it's how I grew up, and I still do it that way. In Italy and Greece and Spain, they've been frying in olive oil for hundreds of years,
Right.
and everybody seems to be
Turkey.
fine.
Everybody's doing
So,
fine.
yeah. So ground beef, salt and pepper to that. I'm going to add 1 whole egg in with this.
And that's some
Give this
beautiful
a
ground beef, too.
little breakage right here. This is Wagyu beef, really
Oh, that's
beautiful
why it's so
from
beautiful.
Marble
Wow,
Ridge
it's a
Farms.
fancy day.
One of our lovely sponsors.
Thank you,
that
Marble
makes
Ridge
beautiful
Farms.
beef. We love you guys. And then here's the other trick. We always had day-old bread floating around the house, and my mom would chop up the bread. And you soak it in milk to get it soft, and then you wring out some of the milk and you add it to the mix. Now, you could use regular whole milk, you could use goat's milk, you could use kefir, you could use different liquids to do this. It's dealer's choice. Same with the meat. We're using straight ground beef. You could do ground beef and pork, you could do ground beef and lamb, you could do pork, lamb, beef, just use what you have. I think that was one thing that I learned from my mother. And then we're gonna take the meat, take the bread, and there's a lot of bread in these, and start
Squeezing out
folding
most
these.
of the moisture from
Yeah, I
those?
mean, it's absorbed it, Clinton, but I don't want it to be super wet.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So some of it comes out, and then we take our onion mixture with the garlic and those spices. Give my hands a
That
quick rinse.
sauteing of garlic and onions to me is the most welcoming smell.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, we were
God.
talking
Like
about
everybody
you're
wants to
home.
light candles.
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, what?
What? Did you listen to last week's episode?
We were talking about candles and the flavor of.
Yeah, we were like,
so
what?
what would your flavor be?
Onion and garlic.
Come on.
Yeah.
What?
Olive oil.
That's what I'm,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. Look,
I like
Thanks,
this.
right?
come on, Ayesha.
So I zested a lemon in there.
Okay.
I'm going to take a little bit of dill.
Okay, so
and we'll
whenever I
garnish
think
with it,
about
too.
dill, mint, and lemon, Michael, I think about you and your food. That was the first time on the Chew where I've had more Greek food than ever in my life.
Right.
And Michael would do a dish with zucchini, with the mint,
Those
the
are the
dill,
zucchini
and-
keftedes.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
another
my God,
keftede, yeah.
yes!
That dish is like that's what, like, you know, like they said, like chefs that have signature dishes.
Yeah.
Like those zucchini keftedes are like, I learned how to make them from my mom, like in the summer garden when there were like zucchinis as big as your head. Like, how do we use all these? And she made those zucchini keftedes, and they're I love them. I grew up with them.
I love what you're doing now because I think people don't understand about like the tearing of herbs.
Yeah.
It's like your knife doesn't have to run through everything.
No.
You know?
Right.
And things that are rustic are beautiful and they taste good.
Yeah.
Like when we're gonna bite into this meatball and get like a big piece of dill and mint.
Yeah.
Like you want that. You don't want to like mince it to shreds where you're not tasting or getting the essence of it.
I also think too, like when you tear herbs over something, the oils and everything fall in.
Yeah.
And like a lot of times people, like when I see people chopping, it's like all the oils are coming out of the herbs and
Into
they're
the
on your
cutting
cutting board.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and like unless you plan on eating that thing, like I don't understand the love of it. So I'm gonna then just start forming these into balls, coat them in flour, and fry them in olive oil.
Oh, coat them in flour.
Yeah, just a little bit to give it a little bit of a texture on
I
the
love that.
outside.
I've never
to fry
done
them
that.
up. Yeah. And so it's just like sometimes like even I'll do them in like a rice flour, so they just get that little
crispy.
punch.
That's nice.
Great
Look
trick.
at you
works good
teaching a
too.
Titan.
I know.
Well, you know, it's
Oh,
like
you know.
I think chefs learn from chefs all the time. So you want to start doing that, and I'll
Yeah,
start frying
sure.
up, and
So I
they'll
think-
pepper us.
People always ask me like, what's the entry way to get into dips, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to teach you the easiest one here because this is something that you always have on hand. And I'm not sure about you, but I always have feta in my fridge.
Yeah.
And if you don't, it's easily accessible in the
We
grocery
always
store,
have
right?
mayonnaise.
Well, that could work too. But we have feta in here, and this is really simple. And you know, when you're using simple recipes, you have to use really good ingredients.
That's right. That's
so
right.
get good feta because
I
it's going to
love
count.
feta.
So we have some feta in here. I think that's about a pound of feta. And this, well, now we're flying yogurt all over the place. But we have like close to a third of a cup of yogurt. And we're just using the yogurt in there to kind of smooth out the feta because we really want the feta flavor, but the yogurt's going to give it like some luxuriousness to it. And you know where there's lemons, there's lemon zest, so I have to put this
yes.
in, right?
Always.
And this is one of my favorite tools in the kitchen.
Oh, microplane.
Right?
That is the best $12.95 you're ever gonna buy.
And I kind of love how, like, even with Michael's dish, like, there's no kitchen. We're not using RoboCoops. We're not using food processors, right? He's using his hands,
Yeah.
a bowl.
Yep.
Yeah, I like
Nice
I
two
like
big
to
pinches
touch
of
food.
salt.
Come around you right now.
Yeah.
I love
You know what?
watching chefs
Your
salt
whipped
things.
feta. My favorite thing about, and my mother is never going to watch a podcast, so I could say it on here with full confidence. Like my mom, I grew up. My mom would make whipped feta. I like yours better. And,
Yeah, don't tell her.
But like she, you know what I think it is? When I would watch her make it as a kid, she would take the feta, add the brine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then lemon and olive oil. But the yogurt really kind of smooths it out.
Yeah, it gives
you know?
it that, I think it gives it that whippy. That's what you're looking for.
Right.
So we're just going to put this on. And this you kind of like, just do it for a bit, right? We'll stop it and we'll scrape down the sides, yes.
yeah.
And like every different kind of feta has a different,
Like creaminess or
Creaminess, thank
chocolate
you. Thank you,
dryness.
Carla.
Yeah.
I was losing my words for a minute.
Girl, I'm menopause.
So that's why you have to have a little bit like yogurt just to make sure that you'll help it out. Don't go overboard with the olive oil here. We did
Yeah.
a drizzle of olive oil.
Okay.
Because I think olive oil is like a background note in this specific thing. But if you put too much oil in it, it will break.
Okay.
So it'll separate and
okay.
it's not going to
That's
give you
good
that
to know.
like whippy situation. So sometimes you just got to let the machine do its thing.
Oh, Michael, those balls look nice.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Carla. I'm surprised you could see them from there. So what I do is I flour them, I put them in, and I just give it a little tap.
Okay.
You know, so it's like, it's not a perfectly round situation.
Yes.
But when it gives them a little tap, it lets it caramelize a bit more on the bottom of the pan. And it also lets the oil basically get halfway up the keftede. You
I
know?
love that.
Ayesha, you must make this by the tub for the restaurant, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's-
well, this actually, believe it or not, isn't on the menu anymore.
Oh, it's not?
No, because I like to evolve the dips. Some of them
sure.
stay, like we always have to have a hummus.
Yeah.
But we do a whipped feta at Shuka that has pistachio and cilantro in it.
Ooh,
so it's
that's
green.
a fun one.
And it's
I
got,
haven't
even
had
though it's
that.
whippy, it's got chunks of pistachio, so the crunch is there. And I don't know about you, but cilantro is like my
I
top
love
three.
cilantro.
Same.
I
Top
love
three,
cilantro.
top three.
Oh, now I gotta get my
Give us
ass to
a
Shuka.
I know, 100%. We have to go. So, what do you think about it? What do you think about hummus? And is there a place where you can't use a particular vegetable and call it hummus?
We had a little debate about this. Like, does hummus, in your opinion, have to have chickpeas in it?
I think it's a loaded question, right? Because
It's not. I was very honest
right,
yesterday.
I think it's a loaded question. I personally think yes, unequivocally, if you're going to call it hummus, it has to be that.
Yeah.
Because don't start giving me squash and then puree it. You know, and be like this butternut hummus.
What
Is that
She made sweet potato. I'm like, this is not hummus.
Yeah, I put tahini in it.
yeah, okay, that counts. But it doesn't necessarily like hummus
Yeah.
is one of those things that doesn't have like other avenues.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hummus is hummus. And there's
Right.
good
Yeah.
hummus, okay hummus, refrigerator hummus.
Yeah. Right.
You know, hummus that you eat when you're on a diet with carrots, and then hummus that you could luxuriate and add, you know, these keftedes to.
Right.
So I think it runs a gamut of like different types of hummus, but I think chickpeas is a quintessential item when
Agreed.
it comes to that.
What I
What we
said
had
to
on the
Carla-
first episode
what I-
was
yeah.
sweet potato puree.
Yeah, and what I said to Carla a couple
tahini.
weeks ago is I'm like, this is delicious, but it's a sweet potato and tahini puree.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know what I feel, and I get it. I just want to say this. I think that when you have the culture that travels through food, it is through the language. So like if you have a taco, let's say.
Yes.
Anything can be in between that tortilla
Right,
with
right,
salsa,
right.
whatever. And when you don't take the language away, I don't care even if you have that taco in Tokyo, it will still come back to honoring Mexican culture.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
So that's how I feel
Yeah.
about hummus. It comes back to honoring that culture. But I understand.
I understand. I think with some things it's different than others. And
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's because this is a culture I grew up in.
Yeah.
So it makes me more protective of the culture.
Yeah.
But like I always think, here's how I think of it in my head. If a family came from this part of whatever part of the
Yeah.
world, and you said, this is hummus.
Yeah.
And they were from, you know, Turkey, Greece, Israel, like they'd be like, no, this isn't hummus. You know what I mean? But like a taco, I do think I think chickpeas make the hummus. I think the shell makes the taco.
Yes.
But I
So
think-
like if it had chickpeas in it with other stuff, I think it could be hummus. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So my sweet potato hummus.
I'm dying on this wall.
chickpeas.
I'm like, really, are we really having this discussion? I'm like, let's talk about farts again.
Did I miss that episode too?
You may have noticed some of the boards and plates we're using. Those are all from Frontgate, including some from my very own collection.
They've got everything from outdoor furniture to decor to entertaining essentials, all made with quality, comfort, and style in mind.
And since most of it is designed in-house, you can't find their pieces anywhere else.
Frontgate, thanks for making our spread look so good.
For more information, go to frontgate.com. Quick shout out to our friends at Allclad for keeping our kitchen running smooth.
Y'all, they've been crafting cookware in the U.S. since the 70s, built to last and trusted by chefs everywhere.
Decades of innovation, fully bonded steel, and even heating. They have been the standard for pots and pans.
So thank you, Allclad, for being part of the madness today. For more information, go to allclad.com.
Hedley & Bennett designs professional-grade aprons, knives, and kitchen tools used in top restaurants and home kitchens alike. Built for durability, function, and style, their gear keeps cooks looking sharp and working comfortably in any kitchen. To find out more, go to hedleyandbennett.com.
But I think, like, just to go around that kind of what we're talking about with the taco thing, it's like when somebody gives you a lettuce wrap with meat in it, and they're like a lettuce taco. Like, stop it.
Right, right.
It's a lettuce wrap. It's not a taco. So I think it could run the gamut of how people use a word, right?
Right.
That has a very specific food attached to it, and then it doesn't become that thing.
Right.
Okay, so look, we have our cloudy, pillowy
Oh my God,
feta here.
Carla, you're not going to wait
my
for that.
favorite one. My favorite one, I think that I've
We
ever
licked the
had.
bowl.
When you did the whipped feta with the cherries.
With the serrano chilies.
The cherries. Didn't you have one with cherries?
Yeah,
on
with
it?
the serrano chilies and cilantro.
Oh my
garlic.
God. That one was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite ones.
Okay, and the other
lemon?
thing, the lemon. That's the jam
The
right there.
feta Oh my God.
And the other thing, that's important is the salt situation, because you have to taste your feta first.
Yeah.
Because depending on,
Yeah, some can be
fetas
salty.
are really salty.
Right.
Yeah.
So I might have not done what I'm telling people to do. Taste your feta, okay? This was a little
salty.
assertive. Okay, and this is it. Look, this could be your dip.
Yep.
There's also a great spread on a sandwich.
Oh,
Yeah, oh,
yeah.
Dips,
Kidding?
leftover, I don't know.
Grilled veggies on that.
Amazing.
And we'll just,
Would be
I'm
nice
gonna make a
on
nice
toast.
bit of this. Is this cool for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chef, we'll just-
Yeah, let it rip.
I would do that for breakfast on a nice piece of toast with then some sliced tomato on top.
Oh,
of it.
100%.
Drizzle of olive oil.
Oh my God.
Like,
so
I would
good.
rather, and like, as much as people love burrata,
Yeah.
like the whipped feta to me, because of the salt in it,
Yes,
is more
yes,
satisfying.
yes. I agree.
Because you get the creaminess of like a burrata, but you
share?
get
Yeah,
that
okay.
salty spread that just makes me so happy.
Agreed.
Agreed.
You know.
Delish. How are those meatballs? How
They're,
they're
they're
keftedes
cruising along. My
Keftedes.
keftedes are cruising
Can I
along.
come touch your balls?
Yeah, check them out.
Oh, I love
Yeah, see how they get a little texture?
Outside, a little crispiness.
Yeah, a little
Oh my
crispy.
God, I love the flour deal
Yes.
because that texture is looking really good.
I made, and I'll make them on the show. I actually texted Ayesha this the other day because they just came out so good. We were cooking for one of my friend's birthdays, and I made swordfish keftedes. And I sent her, and I'm like, these came out so good.
What'd you do?
Where I
You ground the
took swordfish and I pureed it.
Yeah.
And then I added dill and
Yeah.
shallots and herbs and then fried them up. Oh my God, they were stupid.
Yeah.
They were
love-
so stupidly good.
There's not enough pureed fish in the world. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
agreed.
Did you ever have a quenelle, a French quenelle?
Oh,
There's nothing.
Delicious.
Pike quenelle.
Yep.
You know. Oh,
Pike
aren't
quenelle is
Yeah.
one of the great dishes
They
of
don't
all
know. These
time.
newbies, they don't know about that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't see that shit on Instagram.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
We're making pike quenelle now. Oh, it's so
Where they have
good.
a great one is at Le Gratin in the Fidei. Just have you been to Le Gratin?
No.
Isn't it? Oh, what's it? Daniel Balloon's restaurant. It's
Yeah.
Leonaide's. They have a pike quenelle there that is so amazing.
Oh my
It's so good. Get it, people.
and it's like piped and poached.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
They make the two spoony shape with it. And
Yeah.
then
Original Lola, because walleye is pike. Walleye's in the pike family,
I
and
didn't realize
walleye is the
that.
most prominent fish in Lake Erie.
Yeah.
We used to do a riff on it with walleye quenelle. You know, like a Midwestern version of a French dish that was very popular. But it's like, I love that cloudy fish mousse kind of
Yeah.
situation.
So good.
Seafood sausage,
So
all that kind of
exciting.
stuff. I'm getting real close with
This
these.
is so
I
exciting.
got you a little drop right
Thank you.
here.
As I'm finishing frying these up before we taste, so you're about a month, 6 weeks into. I mean, I know they were all filmed already, into being a Titan. How are you? Did you enjoy doing it? Are you competing? You know.
So this is my first time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm experiencing all the firsts, right?
Yeah.
Like I've been nervous in my life. I wouldn't consider myself a nervous person, but
Yeah.
I've definitely been nervous.
Sure.
Yeah.
But nothing like when I was filming the Titans.
Really?
When I was on the show, like sitting on the couch, and it's very funny because I think that people that know me like saw episode 1, and every time ingredients come out, like I was literally praying. I was like, please God, don't pick, like just like pass, like don't pick me. I know I had to go at one time, but just not now. Like I'm okay with it. And then when the fellow Titan would go, I'm like, yes, go Michael, go Brooke. You know what I mean? It wasn't me. And the other thing, like I just didn't expect to have like cooked blacked out, because I would see the ingredients, like I would have it in my head, but I don't have like memories of the competing chefs
Yeah.
and like how I got to that dish.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I think I was saying to Michael, like, if you see me on there, I'm not cooking a lot of Middle Eastern food.
Yeah.
I'm like using my 20 years of experience,
Right.
right? Like you're digging down and you're like, what have I eaten before that has boucheron cheese and eggs in it? Like things don't come to you right away.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna make scrambled eggs.
Right.
You know, which is not a bad idea, but they have to be perfect if you're gonna
Yeah,
come
come
to
on,
that.
yeah.
But what I really am, and the camaraderie on the show is just awesome. Like Bobby, you're not filming a show with him. You're like becoming friends with him, and he just welcomes you in like nobody's business. Like
he
check.
has such respect for chefs, and I think that's why his shows have done really well. Because one, when you eat the food, because he wants your food to be eaten exactly how you wanted it. I mean, I think that says a lot about
Yeah.
Bobby and his respect for chefs and what the chefs do.
Yeah.
Right.
And like I will, like to me, and I said this when Bobby like first was doing the Titan show. It's the closest show I've ever seen to Iron Chef, where it's like great chefs head to head. Let's go cook.
Yeah.
No games.
Yeah, he
Right.
really wants you to cook. I picked some herbs here. I don't know if you wanted to do
Yes,
that, but
absolutely.
And also eat the food while it's hot. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Right.
Because
That's what I'm saying.
yes, that's the thing. I've judged cooking competitions and I'm like, that's been sitting there for an hour.
Exactly.
Like I wanted to eat that as soon as the chef was done with it, not an
I mean,
hour
you go
later.
right back there to eat that food, because, and that's the respect that he has for the chefs. He's like, there are no excuses. Oh my God, this looks so good.
But I am totally like really appreciating like all the fans and people that are reaching out.
yeah,
and, like,
that's sweet.
You know, watching yourself on TV is totally different than filming.
Oh, I know.
Because they put a 15-hour day into a 42-minute segment.
Yeah,
So like
totally.
so many things are happening, and the way they captivate it and the way that they like showcase it, I think it's really been phenomenal. And I've been having fun every Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know, between throwing parties, going to parties, and just watching it and really
God, I
having
love
fun.
it.
That's cool. What was your first TV experience?
I did Chopped, 19 years ago. Wow. Yeah.
That show's been on with us.
Scott Conan
God,
chopped me
a
for
million
using
years.
red onions in two of
Oh,
my
no, did you
dishes.
do red
Are you holding it against him?
Well, I sent
sure.
him, when I did it, I sent him a 50-pound bag of red onions to Feta and said, thank you so much. And now I just send him red onion emojis, but we love each other now. And he actually is a judge on this season, so it's very exciting
okay.
to have seen my food 20 years later.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
If you notice, I just went in with the Samsung to take a picture.
I love that. I love that.
Camera. Samsung's not a sponsor, but Carla can't stop taking pictures with
Yeah, she
Samsung.
Okay.
It's the only thing that phone is good for.
Do we squeeze the lemon?
So, yeah, you could put some lemons on
Is that
top if
what
you
you
want.
No, I love
all the
community
dill,
lemon.
all the
think it's
mint,
squeezy.
your whipped feta, the beef keftedes.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
It's a meze,
All
but
right.
it's an entree. You know,
Yeah.
again.
I'm gonna skip the formalities and go like
No,
this.
no,
I don't
no,
know if
no,
you
no,
know
no,
what I
no,
mean.
no,
no.
Like we're gonna, you know my mantra, the rip
gonna go
and
for it,
dip
'cause I
queen
prepared
here.
it myself.
Rip the meatball in,
Yeah.
dip it right in here, get some herbs on there.
Oh, the rip and dip.
Oh, the rip and dip. It was hot.
Well, the cheese cools it down, which is nice.
Yeah. Oh my
I
God.
have dill on there.
You got dill on you? Here, I'm giving you. Clinton, let me give you some.
Yeah,
This is
thank
a
you.
combination for the guys. Let me tell you. So, what I love, the lemon is very different in the meat. It's different in the feta, and then you have the juice,
Right.
and then all the herbs, the cooked herbs, and then the raw, fresh herbs.
Right? I mean,
Wow.
this is like you don't even really need much else, right? Maybe an ice cold beer.
Right, take the cold beer.
Right?
But that's why, like, you and I have done dinners together before. And we could cook together without even really talking,
Yeah.
which is like, we speak the same food language, I feel.
You call each other dill buddies. Are you using dill? Are you using, we have 6 courses, including dessert. Bowl has dill in it.
So wait, and real quick, because we're getting ready to go, I told Clinton the other guest we have to have on the show, and he doesn't know him, is Chris Bianco.
Oh my God. Well, we'll tell you an off-camera story. I love you, Chris Bianco.
She loves her some Chris Bianco.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. I want to hear that story. Do you want to come back for Friday's show?
Yes, I'd love to be here.
Yeah,
I'll
let's
just
do
look
it.
over.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, I will be
Just
ready.
slumber
I'll be
party.
ready.
We're gonna do a giveaway. You can pick. What are we giving away?
And just so you know what you're getting every day on the show, just as a reminder, if you're just tuning in for your first episode, every single day we drop a new show, we do a fan giveaway. So go to chewedupshow.com to enter in for the giveaway. We give all sorts of stuff. Sometimes it's books, sometimes it's platters. Today, it is a Blues Hog barbecue sauce kit.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
So I'm picking what I'm getting or what the fan is getting?
No, wait.
Fans got it.
Oh, you can have one too.
You're just
No,
good to
I
hang out
got
with us.
keftedes. For your lucky fan, Allie in Austin, Texas.
Hey!
Allie in Austin.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. And every time you come back, we'll be back for Friday's episode with a sweet treat. What are we making?
We're making sweet potato cobbler bars.
No hummus involved. Okay. See you next time. Bye.
Thanks for watching Chewed Up, and thanks to our sponsors for making the show possible. Blues Hog, Front Gate, All Clad, Headley & Bennett. And special thanks to Marble Ridge Farms and Trader Joe's for providing the food on today's episode. New episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. To subscribe, snag recipes, and dig into all the extra fun, head to chewedupshow.com or just find Chewed Up Show on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Now go make a mess in your own kitchen.